Liverpool drama is heating up. From a huge Champions League clash with Galatasaray and 8 players at risk of suspension, to Murillo transfer rumours and FA Cup fixture chaos, there's a lot happening at Anfield. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss the latest Liverpool news. Long FA Cup quarter-finals to cause fixture chaos as Arsenal and Liverpool await fate. The FA Cup quarter-finals will be played across Easter weekend, which could present some fixture headaches for the likes of Southampton and Port Vale, who remain in contention. The FA Cup quarter-final draw is set to cause a fixture pile-up for both Southampton and Port Vale, with 2 non-Premier League sides needing to find new slots for rearranged games. The 8 teams still in the tournament will play their quarter-final clashes on the weekend of April 4th, putting their scheduled league games for that weekend on hold. Top-flight sides are accustomed to moving games for FA Cup outings, as is the case every year, but clubs further down the pyramid may find it harder to source a new date. Port Vale caused the shock of the weekend by downing Sunderland, thanks to a first-half goal from Ben Waine. Meanwhile in London, Southampton saw off Fulham following a stoppage-time penalty. The FA Cup quarter-final will be played on Easter weekend. Port Vale are due to face Cardiff in the Welsh capital on April 3rd, and then 3 days later host Rotherham at Vale Park. Southampton are also scheduled for play across the same 2 days, hosting Ipswich on the Friday before heading to Wrexham on the Monday. The relentless scheduling in the EFL means that the midweek weekend fixture list leaves little room to find a free slot. For Port Vale, they only have one free midweek between the period of the FA Cup quarter-finals and the final day of the season on May 2nd. They travel to Plymouth on April 25th before hosting Lincoln a week later, leaving that midweek as their only realistic free slot. Southampton have slightly more wiggle room as they enjoy 2 one-week breaks between matches. The possibility exists that both Port Vale and Southampton could be forced to play one of their Easter weekend matches in the days before or after their FA Cup quarter-finals. Matters of finding free slots for matches could be further complicated if Port Vale or Southampton were to cause another shock by making the semi-finals, which are scheduled for April 25th. The 8th team for the quarter-final draw will be confirmed on Monday night when West Ham play Brentford. Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool and Chelsea all remain in the hunt. Leeds are the only top-flight outfit still dreaming of Wembley glory. Arsenal avoided a cup shock by seeing off Mansfield on Saturday, whilst Chelsea also downed lower league opposition despite an early scare as they beat Wrexham. City beat Newcastle at St James Park, with Leeds seeing off Norwich. In another news, Liverpool and Galatasaray have 8 players at risk of bans ahead of Champions League tie. Liverpool faces Galatasaray in their Champions League round of 16, first leg with 4 players out injured, while Curtis Jones risks suspension for the second leg. Liverpool is set to return to the pitch on Tuesday evening for a clash with Galatasaray in the first leg of their Champions League round of 16 tie. The Reds are expected to have the same squad at their disposal that triumphed over Wolves on Friday evening, securing their place in the FA Cup quarter-finals. Alexander Isak is inching closer to rejoining first-team training, but remains sidelined as he continues his recovery from an ankle surgery, which included treatment for a fractured fibula. This injury was sustained when Tottenham defender Mickey van der Ven tackled him during Liverpool's 2-1 away victory before Christmas, where Isak scored the opening goal. However, Wataru Endo faces a struggle to play again this season after undergoing surgery on his left ankle, injured last month at Sunderland. Both right-back Connor Bradley and teenage centre-back Giovanni Leone have already been ruled out for the rest of the season. Bradley had knee surgery in January, whilst Leone underwent an operation on his ACL back in September. Alexis Mac Allister had to be substituted late in the game at Wolves on Friday, but Reds manager Arne Slot stated afterwards that he does not foresee any issues with the midfielder's fitness. Florian Wirtz made a comeback at Molineux after missing 3 games, making a brief appearance off the bench. Curtis Jones, however, risks suspension for the return match against Galatasaray at Anfield next Wednesday if he receives a booking in Istanbul. Champions League regulations stipulate that any player who accumulates 3 yellow cards or any subsequent odd number of bookings from the league stage onwards is suspended for the next match. Jones currently has 2 warnings. An amnesty only comes into effect upon completion of the quarter-finals when all yellow card totals are wiped clean. This means Galatasaray face the possibility of a multitude of players being banned for next week's second leg, with 7 players all on 2 Champions League cautions. Goalkeeper Ugurkan Çakır, defenders Ismail Jacobs, Davinson Sanchez and Abdülkerim Bardakçı, and forwards Roland Salai and Victor Osimhen have all received 2 bookings in this season's competition for Galatasaray, whilst January loan signing Noah Lang was cautioned twice for parent club Napoli. However, the Turkish side have minimal injury concerns, with teenage defender Arda Ünyay the only recently unavailable player to have clocked up any first-team minutes this season. In another news, Murillo already made Liverpool transfer feelings clear as offer prepared for defender. Murillo once again finds himself being linked with a move to Liverpool in the summer, with the Nottingham Forest defender having already addressed the prospect of a transfer to Anfield. Murillo has already indicated he would consider a move to Liverpool as the Nottingham Forest defender once again finds himself being linked with a switch to Anfield. The Brazilian is no stranger to being touted as an option for the Reds. Speculation has followed him over the past 18 months, having signed for Forest back in 2023 and played a huge role in the club qualifying for Europe last season. His form has seen him linked with a number of big moves, and with Forest in the midst of a relegation battle, they sit above the drop zone, only on goal difference at the moment. Rumours of a summer transfer are growing. Murillo has seen links with Liverpool re-emerge already this year, and now there are suggestions that the Reds are stepping up their efforts to sign the 23-year-old, albeit from the notoriously unreliable Fixture. The Spanish outlet claims Liverpool is preparing an offer worth $92 million or €80 million for the defender, having supposedly identified him as one of its priority targets for the summer. Although questions can certainly be asked about the source of the rumour, there is no doubt that Murillo is eyeing up a move, with the defender having already declared his intentions to move on from Forest at some stage. Speaking in the summer of 2024 on the Benja Mamucho podcast, he admitted he had his sights set on a move to a bigger club and didn't rule out the prospect of joining Liverpool. "I had the dream of playing in the Premier League and I had that thought," he revealed. "I thought, I'll go to Nottingham Forest, have a good year, and then I'll go to a big club. I had that in my head. I'd choose Manchester City, but it would be more difficult for me to be a regular starter given the players they have in their squad. There's City, Arsenal as well, who are fighting for the Premier League title. Liverpool does of course already have one new defender on its way in the summer, in the shape of Jeremy Jacka, having completed a deal for the Rennes star earlier this year. The Reds though could find themselves in the market for another option at the back, with Ibrahima Konate on course to leave Anfield as a free agent as his contract continues to wind down, with no sign yet of a breakthrough on a new deal. Murillo could therefore come into Liverpool's thinking this summer, especially if Forest is relegated to the Championship, with even the club's owner Evangelos Marinakis surely not able to prevent some of his bigger stars from moving on in that scenario. In another news, Liverpool considering signing award-winning Senegalese midfielder as FSG sanction £86.5 million deal. Liverpool have added AS Monaco midfielder Lamine Camara to their list of targets for the summer transfer window, according to a transfer journalist, while the cost of a new deal for Ryan Gravenberch has emerged. Team Talk reported on January 19, 2026, that Liverpool plan to be busy in the summer transfer window. Sources have told us that Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes could look at making 4 or 5 more significant signings at the end of the season. Among the areas that the defending Premier League champions aim to strengthen is the midfield. Liverpool target AS Monaco midfielder Lamine Camara. One of the midfielders who has caught the eyes of Liverpool scouts is AS Monaco star Lamine Camara. According to journalist Ekram Konor, who has over 240,000 followers on X, Liverpool are considering signing the 22-year-old Senegal international midfielder in the summer of 2026. Camara is one of the best young midfielders in Europe and has been at AS Monaco since 2024. The youngster has won the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations and the 2022 African Nations Championship with Senegal. Camara won the U20 Africa Cup of Nations Player of the Tournament in 2023 and clinched the Africa Young Player of the Year awards in 2023 and 2024. Konur wrote on X at 8:23 p.m. on March 8, 2026, Liverpool considering Lamine Camara for next season, Senegal international midfielder, currently at Monaco. Club scouts impressed with his League One performances. Details of new Ryan Gravenberch contract. On March 7, 2026, Liverpool announced a new contract for Ryan Gravenberch. The 23-year-old midfielder joined Liverpool from Bayern Munich in 2023, and his progress and impressive performances have seen the club's owners, Fenway Sports Group, FSG, reward him with a new long-term contract. Dutch publication De Telegraaf has shared details of the new deal for the Netherlands international midfielder. According to the report, the new contract for Gravenberch is worth €100 million or £86.5 million or $115.5 million. The youngster will earn that sum over the entire period of his stay at Liverpool, not including the multi-million bonuses. Andy Robertson opens up on Liverpool future. Andy Robertson has revealed why he decided to stay at Liverpool in the winter transfer window. Robertson is out of contract at Liverpool at the end of the season, and Premier League rivals Tottenham Hotspur were keen on securing his services. The Scottish left-back held talks with Spurs over a move, with Tottenham and Liverpool also in agreement over a transfer fee for Robertson. However, ultimately Robertson stayed put at Anfield and is determined to lead Liverpool to success under manager Arne Slot this season. The Daily Mail has quoted Robertson as saying, "There was obviously interest there were discussions had with both sets of clubs, but the decision was that I wanted to stay. We stayed at Liverpool, and that was the decision made. I was never not committed. I've been committed to Liverpool for the last 8.5 or 9 years now, and I'll be committed until I'm no longer needed. That's always been my mindset. This club has given me everything, and I've given this club everything. It's been a fantastic relationship, so hopefully that continues, and obviously January happened, but it is now gone. Now we move forward, and like I said, my focus never came off trying to help the lads on the pitch and in training. Whatever was happening behind the scenes happened, and all I can say is that I kept focusing on football. I've always said that the talks will stay between me and the club. I don't think it will get played out in public. It is not one of them. I have got an amazing relationship with Richard Hughes and with Mike Gordon and Michael Edwards. I've had a good relationship with these people, and these people brought me to the football club. They have helped make me who I am, so in that respect, we've had a fantastic relationship. I think out of respect to them, and they have respected me, then the conversations will be in-house. When a decision is made, and we're getting to the point where I only have 3 months left on my contract, it will be announced to you guys. My thought process is, I want to win trophies at Liverpool. That has always been my focus. Every season, I want to win trophies, whether that is an FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Champions League, the Premier League. I always want to win trophies, because the club demands it, and the fans demand it. That has never changed. In another news, Man United gets serious about signing £25 million defender, but he's keen to join Liverpool instead. Sportsboom has reported that Man United are weighing up a summer move for Robertson, who is valued at £25 million or €29 million or $33.5 million by his club Fulham. The flying left-back has emerged as a serious target, with Man United co-owners Ineos particularly keen to strengthen that position. The report has claimed interest from Aston Villa in the former Everton left-back, who is under contract at Fulham until the summer of 2028. Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia and Diego Leon are the 3 recognised left-backs in the Man United squad at the moment, while Diogo Dalot is also able to play in that role. Malacia is out of contract at Man United at the end of the season, while Leon is only 18 years of age. Man United's interest in Robertson does make sense, but Ineos are facing a serious threat from Liverpool. Our transfer insider, Graham Bailey, reported on January 24, 2026, that Liverpool are planning a raid on Fulham for Robertson in the summer transfer window. Andy Robertson is out of contract at Liverpool at the end of the season, so the defending Premier League champions need a replacement. Kostas Tsimikas is on loan at AS Roma at the moment, and the fact that Liverpool manager Arne Slot decided to sanction his temporary exit last summer suggests that the Greece international left-back does not have a future at Anfield. Milos Kerkez is the #1 left-back at Liverpool right now, but the Merseyside club are aware of the need for competition for the Hungary international. We understand that Robertson is keen on a return to Merseyside and play for Liverpool, even though he is a former Everton player. Latest Man United and Liverpool transfer news. Meanwhile, sources have told our transfer insider, Graham Bailey, that Man United are threatening to hijack Newcastle United's deal for a Bournemouth star. Man United have also been linked with a jaw-dropping move for a Paris Saint-Germain ace. Liverpool are in close contract to sign a former Aston Villa winger as a potential replacement for Mohamed Salah. And finally, Liverpool are ready to launch a massive bid for a player that Man United are locked in talks for. In another news, Arne Slot's flipped Jurgen Klopp's script. Liverpool are never going to look the same. Arne Slot has overseen some changes at Liverpool since taking over from Jurgen Klopp as manager in 2024. Former Liverpool striker Emile Heskey is urging the Red star players to rise to the occasion for Arne Slot in the season's final weeks. However, he concedes he would have struggled to play alongside Mohamed Salah, while also outlining some differences between the Reds' approach under Slot and predecessor Jurgen Klopp. The Reds bolstered their chances of a top 5 finish with a 5-2 triumph over West Ham United on Saturday, only to lose ground when they lost away to bottom-of-the-table Wolves in midweek. Expectations have been adjusted since the reigning champions started the season, as many people's title favourites, to the point that securing Champions League football after a tumultuous campaign may well be viewed as a relative success. Ex-Red Heskey, part of a cup treble-winning side under Gerard Houllier in 2001, has been closely monitoring how manager Slot has shaped his team since replacing Klopp in the summer of 2024. He believes the Dutchman has primarily concentrated on his attack during his tenure at Anfield, with Liverpool top scoring in the league last term. "I think you're looking at individual players to step up for Liverpool," Heskey told OLBG. "When Jurgen Klopp was at Liverpool, he started from the back and built the defence first. He didn't worry too much about the forwards. He knew that would all come. He cemented a structure at the back that basically sustained them up until not so long ago, and it's done really well over the years that he was there. Then he could go on to the forwards and really start building that heavy metal football." With Arne Slot, he's gone with the forward line first, and it's been a little bit more difficult at times because you want Florian Wirtz to be getting on the ball all the time. You want Mohamed Salah to be scoring all the goals like he did before. Liverpool still needs someone to emulate what we had with Sadio Mane and Luis Diaz, and you probably want someone up front who's going to give you sort of the balance that Roberto Firmino brought, having two goal scorers either side of him. Slot is building something totally different, and it's never going to look the same, but now Liverpool have got Hugo Ekitike up front, and I think he's done fantastic. Heskey ended up with 60 goals in 223 appearances for the Reds between 2000 and 2004. During that period, he forged a prolific partnership with Michael Owen for club and country, and would frequently utilize his physical prowess to meet crosses from wide players. Liverpool use their wide forwards differently these days, though, with Heskey suggesting he might have less fun in the current system. "I remember someone asking me a few years back, 'Would you have liked to play with Mohamed Salah?' I said probably not," he added. "I'd probably prefer to play with Trent Alexander-Arnold, because I know he's going to cross the ball for me. Mo's not going to cross. Mo wants to score goals. We've gone from wingers who want to provide to wingers who want to score goals." That's all for today's Liverpool update. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more daily Liverpool news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next update.